Hey fam, what's good? What's good? I hope that you're all well and keeping safe. I hope that you all had an amazing week. I hope that you all had an amazing weekend as well. So in today's content, we will be covering market structure. Okay, so without wasting no time, let's get into it. Okay, now market structure. What is market structure? Now, market structure will give us an indication whether we should be looking for sells, buys, or stay away from the market. Okay, so this is literally something that will give us guidance to where price can potentially go. And I feel like this is one of the crucial topics you need to know when it comes down to your trading journey. Okay, now let's look at the type of markets we basically get inside our actual, in the markets. Okay, now first of all, we do have our actual bull market over there. We have our bear markets and we do have our range markets. Okay, these are the only type of markets you will get. Okay, only three: a bull market, a bear market, and a range market. Now let's see how an actual bull market look like. Okay, let's see how it looks like. Now let's start over here on your right hand side by the terminology. We do have a higher high over here indicated as HH. Okay, we do have an actual higher low over here indicated as HL. Okay, now higher high. A higher high, the meaning of it is basically that the current high is higher than the previous high. Okay, if we can look at this actual drawing which we have down here. Okay, if this is the current high, can you see that this high is higher than the previous high? Okay, making this a higher high. Okay, can you see that? Let's look at our actual higher lows over here. The current low is higher than the previous low. Okay, so if this is our current low over there, can you see that this current low is higher than the previous low, making this one over here a higher low. Can you see that this this low over here is higher than the previous one, making this area over here a higher low? Okay, it's quite simple. Keep it simple. Okay, keep it simple. Now let's look at the criteria of an actual bull market over here on the left hand side. Okay, so this would be an overall uptrend. As you guys can see over there, the overall move is to the upside. The overall move is to the upside. This market consists out of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so when you see higher highs and higher lows, one thing that needs to click inside your mind would literally be bull market. Okay, bull market. Now, when you're inside of a bull market, what do you want to find yourself looking for? In this market, we will be looking for buying opportunities. Okay, inside a bull market, you want to find yourself looking for buying opportunities. Now, where will you find yourself having those actual buying opportunities? Okay, we mainly want to find ourselves buying at our lows. Okay, we want to find ourselves buying at our lows over here. Now, where is our lows? These areas. These areas. Right? We want to find ourselves buying at our lows. Okay, so if I can give you like a little example, if you're going to have a nice bull market like this, we're going to have a bull market like this, where we basically have our high, bull market giving us a higher high. I want you guys to sing with me. What's going to be the next one? A higher high as well, right? So if the market is going to create an actual higher high over there, the area where we want to find ourselves creating that actual higher low would literally be the previous turning point which we had over there. The previous area of resistance now basically turned to support. Okay, this is where we want to find ourselves having price coming all the way down to basically have a potential continuation move back towards the upside. Okay, to basically create that higher low. Now let's look at the lows. Let's say this is a low. Can you see that this low over here is higher than that one? So this would be a higher low. Okay. Can you see this turning point over here? This low over here is higher than this one over here. So this would be a higher low. Okay, so where would our buying opportunities be at? It will be around about these areas over here. Okay, it would be around about these areas over here. Now, inside the market, it won't be as textbook, but you need to keep the principle remaining the same. Okay, you're still going to look for previous turning points, previous areas of resistance now turn to support, and basically wait for some sort of a rejection somewhere inside this area to basically take price to the upside, right? Now, the principle is mainly that if you're going to see a market that is creating higher highs and higher lows, you want to find yourself looking for buying opportunities. Okay, buying opportunities. Now, let's shift over to an actual bear market and let's see what is happening over here. Now, let's go back to the terminology over here on the right hand side. Okay, higher low, well, lower high over there, you know, we basically indicate it as LH. Okay, lower low over here is indicated as LL. Okay, meaning of an actual lower high, this simply means that the current high is lower than the previous high. Okay, so if this is the current high over here, can you see that this high is lower than the previous high, making this a lower high? Let's look at the lower lows. The current low is lower than the previous low. Can you see over here as well? Can you see this low over here is lower than the previous low, making it a lower low? Okay, crucial. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Now let's look at the criteria of an actual bear market. Okay, now this market would be a downtrend. As you can see, the overall move is to the downside. Okay, the overall move is to the downside. Now, a bear market consists of lower highs and lower lows. Okay, lower highs and lower lows. Okay, that is an actual bear market. So if you're gonna see the market is creating these actual patterns over here, you know, lower lows and lower highs, you know, you should be automatically being like, hey, bear market, bear market. Okay, now inside of an actual bear market, we want to find ourselves looking for selling opportunities. Once again, where do we want to find ourselves having the selling opportunities? At our highs. Okay, we mainly want to find ourselves selling at our highs. Okay, we want to find ourselves looking at selling at our highs. Okay, these areas over here, boom. These areas over there, boom. Right, our highs. You most probably have heard of the term, you know, you buy low and sell high. That's how you basically want to look at it. Okay, bear market, where do we want to find ourselves selling? From our highs. From our highs. Okay, can you guys see? This would literally be the impulse. This would be the correction. This would be the impulse. This would be the correction. Now, can you see? The correction is a small move, while the impulse is a big push towards the downside. Correction, small move up. Impulse, huge move down. Okay, so we want to find ourselves having our entries around about this area over here. Why? Because we want to catch the overall move to the downside. Okay, we want to catch the impulsive move to the downside. Okay, and that's literally it for our bear market. Let's look at our actual last market, which we can find inside the market, you know, and this would literally be a range market. Okay, now a range market, you do not want to find yourself trading inside a range market to begin with. Okay, you don't want to find yourself trading within this actual area over here. You don't want to do that. Okay, now this market will respect our highs, our areas of resistance, and our lows, our areas of support, twice or more. Okay, now what I basically mean with that is, when I see that we do have two respects at our areas of resistance, this automatically tells me that, hey, we are currently tapping inside some sort of an actual range market. Okay, so if I have two or more respects inside my areas of support or my areas of resistance over here, I consider it as being an actual range market. Okay, now when will I find myself looking for an actual entry? When? Okay, wait for the market to break the high or the low and wait for the retest, right, before looking for any trades. Okay, so if we're going to look at our area of resistance over here, we want to find ourselves looking for price to break above, come back for the retest before having some upside potential. So where would our entries be? It would literally be somewhere over here inside our previous area of resistance, now turn to support for that potential move to the upside. Okay, if we want to look at our areas of support over here, you want to find yourself looking for a break below, somewhat of a retest for the move back towards the downside. So where would your entries be? It would be around about this area over here. It would be around about over there, right? Now, can you see like the principle of an actual range market? If you look closely, right? If you're going to find yourself waiting for that break retest for that move towards the upside, can you guys see what are we creating? Look at the previous high. Look at this. What is that? What is that? A higher high. All you're now waiting for is for some sort of a pullback back inside the area of support to take price to the upside. Where do we want to find ourselves having that actual, that entry over here at our lows, right? So this would then be an actual low. Then what would this be? A higher low. This is where you want to find yourself taking your entry to the upside. Okay, let's look at, when we come towards the downside. Once again, can you see? This would then be an actual high. Can you see? Once we basically had the break, we wait for the retest. What have we created over here? A lower high. Bear market. Okay, bear market. Let's look at the lows. So this would then be a low. So this would then be a lower low. Where would your entry be? Round about this area over there. Okay, so that's literally it when it comes down to our type of markets inside, inside the actual market. Okay, so I hope that you guys have a clean understanding of what I basically just went through. If not, find yourself coming back to this and rewatch it over and over and over and over and apply it inside the markets. Okay, so for those who have been watching me for quite a while, you guys will always see that I always identify market structure. Okay, so find yourself watching my previous content as well, see how I basically identify market structure, and I think that you will have a clean opportunity, a clean understanding of what I basically just went through when you see it yourself inside the market, right? Once you see it yourself, no one can take it away from you. Okay, knowledge is something that no one can take away from you. Okay, so I'm wishing you a blessed week further onwards. Please do trade safe. I will see you in the next content. It's me, your boy D. I'm out.